So let's get started. I'm starting off with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Face Primer. Now I'm applying this all over my face. Next step I'm doing is I'm going to do a combo. I'm going to add the Makeup Forever 12 Flash color palette, and then the foundation. I'm going to mix the green in it because I want to give it like a sickly green tint to my face. So now I'm taking this L'Oreal Infallible makeup sponge to blend everything out. And I'm also bringing it down to my neck, but eventually it doesn't really matter because I wear a cape, so you can't really see my neck area. Now I'm going to take the color white from the palette, the Flash color palette, and I'm going to just highlight the points on my face I want to highlight. If you see my mouth moving, it's just because I was jamming out to some tunes while I did this. Now I'm taking the black shade and I'm going to use this to contour where I normally contour. So now taking the same sponge, I'm going to blend this out. I also realized that I wanted to re-intensify the green, so I also applied some green to make that green stand out. And then I'll just blend it all out. Now I'm taking the Rimmel Match Perfection loose powder and I'm just going to use this to lightly set the entire face. Taking the Shade and Light Eye palette from Kat Von D, I'm using the black shade and I'm using this to fill in my brows. Now taking the BH Cosmetics gel liner, I am defining my brows and then I'm also giving it like a bushy eyebrow effect, feathering in some hair-like strokes. Once I'm done with my brows, I am just setting my eyes. I actually prime my eyes and now I'm setting them with lighter shade from the palette. Now I'm taking like a taupey light shade from the palette and I'm just using it. This is like really simple eye look. I'm just using this to add details to my crease. I'm extending it all the way to almost to the hairline. It's such a simple eye look and this is all I'm gonna do. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm going in with the same gel liner from BH Cosmetics in the shade Onyx and I'm going to wing out my eyeliner and I'm definitely adding detail to the inner corner. I dragged it out to a point and then I'm also doing the same thing to my eyeliner. I'm dragging it just dramatic as can be. I'm also adding that to the outer part of the lower lash line and in the waterline, and then I'm also kind of like creating a different lower, like pointed lower lash line. Now what I'm doing is I'm adding the black shade from the palette and I'm just kind of like smoking out that, intensifying the shade and I'm smoking it out, and then also bringing it to the bottom lash line, and whatever's left over on that brush I am just buffing out to avoid any harsh lines. Now I'm going to take a gray shade from the palette and I'm going to just concentrate that into the inner portion of the eye, kind of buffing it out in that corner towards the brow. Now I'm taking this ColourPop eyeliner in the shade Exit. It's a white liner and I'm applying that to the inner portion. That's the detail I was working on at the beginning, and then I'm taking the Kat Von D and I poke my eye. Now I'm waiting for my eyes to stop watering, but I am going to just concentrate and really define that inner corner lower lash line. Now I'm using pretty much like the same shade I applied to my crease color. I'm applying that as kind of like contouring the rest of my face and contouring my nose as well. I'm taking this Metal Matte palette from Kat Von D, just because in here it has like white shade, and I'm just using that to kind of to highlight under the eye. I'm taking the Maybelline Colossal Big Shot Mascara, and I'm just applying a thin coat of mascara. And then I'll take these Ardell Lashes Double Ups. These are like really thick and intense, and I'm applying that for this look. Then I'm going to take the Anastasia Moonchild palette. I'm taking that green shade, I think it's called Leprechaun or something like that. It's the green shade, and I'm using this to highlight. Then I started off with this liquid eyeliner to start working on my web, and then you'll start noticing that once I get to more like the powdered areas of my face, the felt tip was kind of drying out. So I just went back with the gel liner I used, and I started mapping out the detail of the web. This definitely worked out better than using that felt tip marker. Now all I'm doing, going over all those lines, and I'm kind of using that black shadow from the palette, just going over all the lines I did with the gel liner, just to intensify them. And you could probably end here. You don't have to do the next steps that I'll be doing, but I just wanted to add a little bit more dimension. So I went into the cream flash palette from Makeup Forever, and I took the white and I applied it above the lines, the dark lines. Now I'm taking the palette, the Metal Matte powder shadow palette. I'm just going over those white lines and kind of buffing them out and setting them with the white shadow. Now it's okay if we go over the black lines, because then I'm going to go over and intensify the black again with the black shadow. So now I am going with the black shadow and just retracing all the black lines. Now for a little bit more shadow to the outer part, I'm just kind of like buffing out the outer portion, just again for dimension. And then I took this spider, it's actually one of those like toy rings, and I cut off the ring part, and then now I wanted to see where I was going to place it. I applied like this like string where it's going to be hanging from, and then I'm applying lash glue on it. And while I let that kind of get tacky, I'm going to work on my lips. I'm taking the NYX color lip liner in Black Cherry, and I'm just lip lining my lips, and then I'm taking the Anastasia liquid lip in Midnight. And I wanted to set my hair, because since I'm going to apply the spider, I didn't want it to do it later and then have it pop off. And there you go. That's pretty much all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna place it right in that area, and it sticks perfectly. I'm just going over the areas just wherever I feel I needed some extra glow. And that's pretty much it for this look. I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you next time.